Hello, everyone. I think you can hear me. Hello. Took me a second to get in. Oh, I have to still post a go live notification. I forgot because my phone was dead. Let me just take a quick picture. I don't know. Let's take a picture with Scarlet Witch. Shall we? This comic. I'm really excited to check out, actually. All right. I feel like my mouth looks really weird, but I'm gonna post it anyways. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully everyone's having a good day. Hi, Dante. Hi, Antonio. Hello, everyone. Hope you're all having a good day. I'm gonna open everything up here and just we're gonna post. I got some. Actually, I have something I'm going to open up. Let me see. Hold on a second. I have a parcel that I can open. Take this off. Get my scissors out. Yeah, let's do this. I have this awesome parcel that was sent to me the other day. I still have to open that. How's everyone doing today? Hi, Nick. Hi, Michael. How's it going? All right, so we're going to have a nice chill stream. I'm going to be talking about some of the comics that I got this week because we weren't able to do our pull list this week. Unfortunately, a little too busy to get there. But I'm happy to be here with you today to be talking comics. Is there anything anybody has been reading? I'm also going to be prioritizing super chats and subs for chats. So if you want to bump whatever you want to talk about up and have my response to it, that's what I'll be prioritizing because I got to pay those bills. But also I don't know if the chat will be so busy that I will miss things. We'll see, I guess. We'll see how it goes. All right, I'm posting to everyone that I'm live now, so now everyone will know. The world will know. Will they arrive? We shall see. Talking Comics, twitch.tv. Yeah, I still have to read that issue. But you know what? I read all of the Scarlet Witch series before this, so we can also talk about that. Rapala, hello. How's it going? Antonio, I'm doing pretty good. I had a pretty chill day today. Well, sort of. I mean, I did get quite a bit of work done. Inhumans, yeah, Inhumans are pretty cool. For the most part, kind of dead right now, I think, in the comics. Sadly, kind of all got killed off, and who do we have now that's left? We have Kamala, who's now an Inhuman and a mutant. We have... Who else do we have? We have Kamala, we have Black Bolt, we have Medusa, I think is still around. A lot of them got killed. Pretty tragic. We're going to go to the comments that I had. We're going to start sort of chatting based off of that. And then I'll also be showing you guys just some of the stuff that I got. Red is right. And we'll go from there. All right. Wow. Hello, Volk. How's it going? I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Just getting set up for stream here. And yeah, it's been a pretty... I don't know. I might put some music on. Should we put some music on? Maybe put some Lofi Girl on. Dante, congrats on your 3-stream streak. I will get my stream back. I like how determined you are. You will. I believe in you. I believe you'll do it. I think it's going to happen. I believe. Also, if you are all wondering about chat, if you see me chatting with people you don't see in the chat, you can check out the screen. The chat for everyone should be coming up here on the screen. So you can still see it there. I can't wait till Magneto's a full return in comics. Magneto is coming back. This is true. This is true. I don't know how I feel about it, honestly. Because I feel like we only killed him off, like, AXE was not that long ago. But I thought he was maybe coming back for a second there in Scarlet Witch, and I was kind of excited about that, to be honest. But then it was just Joseph. So, yeah. Dante says, my original streak was 18. I will get that back. You will. You will. I believe. I believe. For those that don't know, on Twitch, you can, every time you tune into a stream, you get basically like this streak. It just keeps going, and it's pretty cool. We're gonna check some of the comments first on the community post. I'm just gonna see what people were saying, and I'll respond to some of those. So let's see. View my channel, community. I'm gonna do one of these guys. Yeah. Oh, it's reminding me to put my closed captions on. Let's see if they work today. Let's see. We'll wait and see. How do I feel? Oh, and they're working. All right. I guess I could put that tag in there. Which do I want to take out? Oh, I guess I'm going to take out Image Comics. It feels mean, but sorry, Image Comics. I love you. I love you, though. I'm going to talk about you. Closed captions. There we go. So now people can join us that would like to join that. GameRoots is asking, how do I feel about Ultimate Universe of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver? Do you mean the old Ultimate Universe? I'm assuming you're not talking about the current Ultimate Universe. Hey Peter, what's up? How's it going? The current Ultimate Universe? The old one, yes. I mean, I think I've talked about that a lot on Top 10 Nerd. What are you asking about? Like the incest? Is that what you're asking about? Yeah, it's pretty weird, Game Roots. It's pretty weird. Old Ultimate Universe is honestly started off, I think, being more promising than it ended up being, if that makes sense. It got, like, really cringe really quick. Before cringe was a thing. It just gets, like, it's just, like, weirdly hardcore. You know what I mean? Let's listen to some relaxed study to... Do you guys want some music? Or do you just want to hear me talking? What do you prefer? Do you prefer music or just me talking? Let me know. I hope that the X-Men in the White Hot Room return, too. Yeah, I think they will. I think they will. I think that... there was a theory that UptownDuck had that was, like, the orb that one of the Sinisters had. The Lady Sinister. And that, like, they're actually in there. Scribble said, if you had to pick a newer comic to start with to get back into current X-Men, where would you start? Where would I start? That is a good question. Right now? Like, if you want to start reading right now? Or, like, can I recommend you something from, like, a few years back? I would say right now, it might be interesting to actually start with the Ultimate X-Men, which is going to be coming out really soon. When does that come out? Ultimate X-Men... Issue 1. Ultimate X-Men Issue 1. I think it's coming out in, like, March. The beginning of March? March 6th. Oh, man, I really need to update my pull list. I'm really worried it's gonna sell out and I'm not gonna get a Momoko cover, and I really want that. Philosopher King says, I haven't read it, but people love Ultimate Spider-Man a lot and it gave up Miles Morales Spider-Man. I don't think it gave up Miles Morales Spider-Man, Philosopher King. I think it's an alternate reality. I mean, like, Miles still exists in the main continuity. Or do you mean which Ultimate Spider-Man? You talking about current Ultimate Spider-Man? Yeah, I don't think Miles is in it, as far as I know. But I don't know if we would say it gave him up. He chose, so like the reason, here's the other thing. Do you know the reason that Miles isn't there in the story? I guess is the other question, Philosopher King. Because the real reason that Miles isn't there is that he was actually approached by the Maker, and the Maker, when Ultimate was coming back, and the Maker wanted Miles to go back with him to like rebuild the Ultimate Universe, because obviously the old Ultimate Universe is gone now. And Reed was like, you're one of the only people that's like from this universe, so I'd really love for you to come back with me. But Miles was just like, honestly, I'm good here in 616. Like, I have my family, I have my life here. And it's actually really sad for the Maker. I never thought I'd feel sad for the Maker, but yeah. Peter, yes, Talking Comics 1. I did a community post today, friends. If you didn't see it, if you didn't know about that, make sure you check out the community tab. I do try to post there, and hopefully the algorithm shows you these things. But yeah, I did a poll today, and Talking Comics won. It was like half of the votes. Game Root says, I always thought Miles was from Earth 616. No, Miles is from Earth 1610, the original Ultimate Universe, although the current Ultimate Universe is not the same as the past Ultimate Universe. So the past Ultimate Universe is Earth 1610. I don't know if we have an official number yet for new Ultimate Universe. Ultimate Spider-Man. Let me see if I can see if there's a number yet for it. Let's see. Da 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 da. Da, 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 da. Earth 6160. 6160. Interesting. Just a play on 616. Rapala has redeemed a hydrate. Thank you, my friend. Also, friends, if I'm missing stuff in chat, FYI, I was just saying I'm going to be prioritizing subs with chat and or gifted subs, and I'm also going to be prioritizing super chats. So if I miss what you're saying, if you put that in there, then I will see it. Let's see. Philosopher King says, I meant to say that Ultimate Spider-Man gave us Miles Morales. Since he started in 1610 before coming. Oh, yes. Yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man did give us Miles Morales, the original Ultimate Spider-Man. We need to find a way to make this clear. That's the only thing about the Ultimate comics coming back. Is that when people talk about Ultimate? I'm gonna be like, which Ultimate are you talking about? Original Ultimate or new Ultimate? I guess we could just call them by their Earth numbers. So Earth 1610 or Earth 6160. 6160? I guess I could say it that way. Let's say 6160. It sounds cool. Dante says, I'm trying to think of a good number for the universe my role-playing story takes place in, but I want it to be its own thing. Well, I think you're good, because I feel like there's a lot of numbers that aren't taken. Do you have a number that you're thinking of, Dante? Can let you know if it's an official universe number. Based on my knowledge and the internet's knowledge. We could look it up. Philosopher King says, I want to see an MCU version of the Maker before Secret Wars. Before Secret Wars? You want to see it before Secret Wars? Like, before Secret Wars in the MCU? I don't think that's going to happen. But I like that dream. I like that dream. It's a good dream to have. Dante says, how about Earth 23? I think Earth 23 is taken. But I don't know what Earth it is. Let me look. Sounds familiar. Earth 23. Yeah. It's Magical Girl universe. Magical Girls. Yep. Penny Parker, but she's like a magical girl. Who's like the alternate Spider-Man who's in like a mech. What about Earth 855? I bet that doesn't exist. Earth 855. So there is an Earth 855, but it's not officially numbered, so that one you could use because it's a temporary number, so it's not official. Earth 855 is where the daughter of Galactus, Galactica, is from. But like I said, it's a holding number, so it's not official. So you could use that. Nowhere in the comics does it say that. That's just a number that fans have given to it for now so that we can designate it. Antonio says Earth and alternative Earth. There are many alternative Earths. Yes, this is true. Reaper PCW. You love the chubby dragon on my shelf. Thank you. Yeah, that's Thember Showed. That's Thember Showed from Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves, the movie. But also just from Dungeons and Dragons in general. Thember Showed is an actual dragon in the world, in the lore, that you could interact with. Dante says, to quote Homer Simpson, "Don't!" Yeah, unfortunately Earth 23 is taken, but I feel like if you get like a really long number, like Earth 77215. Let's see, is that something? Earth 77215. I don't think that's anything. Nope, that's nothing. Earth 77215. That's open. Not even a temporary number. Should I put music on? I might put some music on. I think I want to listen to music, so I'm going to put it on for me. I'm going to be selfish. I'm going to put it on. Oh, all right. Let me put this down so that it's just very faint. I don't want it to be loud. I just want it to be very faint. Let me know, maybe like here. And I'm going to just... I'll put the Lofi Girl on the screen. Oh, maybe not. Over everything. Just put that up there. There you go. Lo-Fi's credits. Also, I do have more Pokemon 151 packs. So if you guys want me to open any of these, if we reach our sub goal or our members goal, I'll do that. Yes, Philosopher King. Earth 23 is the home of Kawaii Penny Parker. This is true. Like I said, magical girl land. But it's not the Penny Parker that you saw in Spider-Verse, because that's a different Penny Parker. That's Penny Parker that has Spurder. I never know how to say that. The mech. This Penny Parker, I don't think, has her Spurder mech. Different universe. Tri-World is 714, says Game Roots. 714. I can't think of anything that's 714. That might be available. 714. No, it's not available. Not free. It's a reality where Angel is Weapon X. Dante says, Dance Squad assemble. Let's open up some stuff, shall we? I have this thing here. I'm going to open it. I think it was sent to me by the amazing folks over at the Massiverse, because I am on their list of influencers to send things to, so sometimes they send me cool stuff. I need to do more videos, honestly, on the Massiverse. I love it. And I am an influencer for them, so I'm always like, I feel like I should be posting more. I feel like I don't post enough about this. So if you're watching this, anyone from the Massiverse, Kyle, hello. Thank you for sending me things. And yes, I know, I need to do more stuff. Jarrell, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate you. Jarrell, thank you. Oh, that's so nice of you for the $1.99 super chat. Was there something that you wanted to ask, or did you just want to send a super chat and be a cool human? Thank you. All right. What do we got? Ooh, we got some new Radiant Black. We got the continuation of the Catalyst War. We have part 6 and part 7. I was actually just talking to UptownDuck about this. this idea of stuff that when you get it, you like have to read it immediately. And I was saying, I don't think I have a comic that's like that. Like when I buy it, I have to read it like right now. But this actually might be that. I'm really excited. And I actually also have this that they sent me that I was going to show off last time we did the comic pull list, but that I forgot to show off. So I'm going to show it to you now. This guy. They also sent me the trade of the first part of Catalyst War, I believe. Catalyst War Crisis. So this is the trade that they sent me. I'm going to flip to the other camera for a second. And I'll show it to you. But yeah, it's really pretty. Jarrell, thank you again for the super chat. That delay over here on my stream. But thank you so much. But yeah, it's really pretty. I love the colors in Radiant Black a lot. Anyways, I really like it. So thank you so much for sending this to me, Massiverse. Very happy to be repping you. And if you guys aren't reading Catalyst War, it's actually like really crazy. It's, you know what I like about Radiant Black? It kind of reminds me of Invincible in the sense that it does things that you don't think about happening in superhero comics. And that's what I really love about it. And with the last issue that I read, it really ended on a cliffhanger. And right now we have like 2 realities going on. It's nuts. If you aren't reading Radiant Black, you should read it. That's all I'm gonna say. A comic is $1.99. That's cool too. Is a comic $1.99? My comics are not $1.99. This Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver comic is $4.99 US. It says right there, $4.99 US, which means it's more for me in Canada. Gotta pay that conversion. Yeah, Radiant Black is really good. It's really good. What is Radiant Black about? Is that what you're asking, Nick? Radiant Black is following the story. I actually did a video of it on my YouTube, if you wanted to check it out, and I talked about why it's so interesting. I don't want to spoil it, but I will just say Radiant Black is kind of like, think of like the Power Rangers comics. It's actually written by the same person, Kyle Higgins, as did Power Rangers over at Boom Studios. If you have read those comics, they're amazing. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. He kind of took the idea of like Power Rangers, but like what if it was like in a very adult world? So it's like these Radiants, which are like alien tech that come to Earth, and then people get them. And we follow Radiant Black, who is one of the Radiants. And they each have different powers depending on the color Radiant that they have. They kind of work differently. And some people use Radiance for good, some people maybe not. Not everybody's a hero in it. And the problem with the Radiants is that they are alien tech. So someone might want that back. Also, our hero is super relatable that we start off with, Nathan. Nathan is, I think, in his early 30s or late 20s. He's a writer. He just came back home from LA, and he is completely broke. He's super in debt. He's just living his best millennial life, I feel like. Literally, the first issue I read, I was like, man, I feel this a lot. Nick, you're asking, have I used a microphone before? I'm using one right now, so I'm going to say yes, I have. Also, hi, Nick. I've used one many times. If you've seen any of my videos on my channel, I'm constantly using a microphone, yes. Radiance sounds like aura or like chi. Yeah, it is. It is, it does. It's, yeah, they're called Radiance. I wonder, that's a good point though, actually, Game Roots. Like, why are they called Radiance? What is that about? What does that mean? You're making me think about it. Philosopher King says Nathan is super relatable. Nathan is me. Philosopher King, I'm with you. Nathan is me. Radiation, maybe, says Gamerits. Yeah. Yeah, I would highly recommend it, Nick. If you want to start, you could start with the Volume 1 trade. They're only on Volume 5. This trade is Volume 5. But it's really good. And Massiverse is its own universe within Image Comics. So there's also a bunch of other series like following other characters. There's a whole mini-series on Radiant Pink. There are other heroes that exist in the world like Inferno Girl Red and Rogue Sun. Rogue Sun is UptownDuck's favorite. And Dead Lucky is another hero that they have that you can read about. And all the books are kind of different. One of my favorite books right now is actually No One. No One is really cool because there's also a podcast. So you listen to the podcast while you're reading the comic and they're like intertwined. And that also means you get to hear the characters voiced. Patton Oswalt is in it. I think Rachel Lee Cook is also in it. Is that who else is in it? Podcast. Yeah, Rachel Lee Cook as well. It's really good. And I just love this idea of like multimedia, like storytelling, like through different mediums. Daniel, hello. Congrats on your 30 stream streak. Keep streaking, my friend. Yeah, just rocking and streaking and making a scene. Nice. Antonio says Wastelanders. Is Wastelanders a comic? I don't think I've read that one. Wastelanders comic. Whoa. Wastelanders is a book. Oh, Wastelanders is a comic. Or it's a collection. Oh, is this based on, is this a podcast? Is this like when they're all in the future? Wastelanders? 2 different timelines in Marvel Comics. Old Man Hawkeye and the original Millar Old Man Logan. Interesting. Interesting. I think there was also a podcast with Black Widow. That was like set. That was like a Wastelanders thing that I really want to listen to. I've been listening to a lot of the Marvel podcasts actually lately. They're really good. I would highly recommend them to you guys. Hey, Zabrian, how's it going? I'm glad you could catch a stream too. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, Antonio, was there a Black Widow one? Yeah, with the podcast. Yeah, I have that on my to listen. Haven't listened to it yet though. Just Rob says there was a podcast with Squirrel Girl. Oh my gosh, there was the Squirrel Girl radio show. Ah, it was so good, but it only got 1 season. Why? If you guys haven't listened to the Squirrel Girl radio show, like, do yourself a favor. Go listen to my girl Doreen. It's so good. I love it. It's so cute, and it's so Squirrel Girl, if you like Squirrel Girl. I guess if you don't like Squirrel Girl, then maybe don't listen to it. Dante has redeemed a stretch and a posture check. Thank you, Dante. Dante also says, also happy Marvel Day. Is it Marvel Day today? You know what tomorrow is? Tomorrow's Pokemon Day. How cool is that? It's going to be Pokemon Day tomorrow. There have been audio drama for DC Comics. Yes, I listened to one of those. I listened to the one on Harley with Christina Ricci voicing Harley. That was also very good. Have you guys listened to the Wolverine ones? Those ones are my favorite so far. I also am just finishing up... What's the other one with the Avengers? There's a comic series. I don't know, not based off of it. It's based off of a comic series. Where's my Spotify? I'm not liking this one as much as I like the Wolverine one, though. Definitely not as much as I like the Squirrel Girl one. I think Wolverine's still my favorite, though. Wolverine is also written by Benjamin Percy, who's writing Wolverine right now. You know what's crazy to think about? That Wolverine and... Duck and I were talking about this the other day. That Wolverine and X-Force are going to be like 2 of the longest running X-Men series in the modern era. Is that weird? Like, they're both good. Don't get me wrong. And I was reading Wolverine since the beginning until I took my my year off collecting, and now I'm kind of out of it. I'm just trying to get back into Wolverine now. The current Wolverine. And, yeah, I was just thinking about... Oh, did I not have it on my episodes? What's it called? What's it called? Where are my episodes at? I thought I would have had it. Oh, here it is. The Marvels. Wow, that's such an easy name. How did I forget that? It's an older one. It's from 2020, but it's pretty good. But it's, It's kind of like about... who works at the Daily Bugle? It's like about staff at the Daily Bugle, and they're like... kind of deciding whether or not, like, superheroes are real or not. Like, or not if they're real. Like, if they're actually being heroic or if it's all a sham. And a couple of the, like, sort of main characters from the Bugle staff are on it. Phil, what's his name? Phil and one of the other guys. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank right now. Clearly, it's captivating me so much. But it is kind of cool. It's kind of like a cool, like, watching the reporters and their view of it. And then they're kind of, like, unraveling the mystery of what really happened. Dante says, usually on Mondays I would watch or read anything Marvel related on Monday. Oh, cool. So it's Marvel Mondays. I like that. DC Dondays. Philosopher King says there was also X lives and deaths of Wolverine in there too. Yes. 10 lives and X deaths, I believe, technically, is the way we're supposed to say that. I did read all of that. I read that, and then I think that's kind of when I fell off a bit. So I'm just getting back into it now. Do I have any Wolverine here? I think I got new Wolverine. Well, I don't know if it was new. I think it actually was maybe older, but I think I have some in my pile. I don't think I can look at it, though, because I'm not up to date, and Sabretooth War is happening, and Duck was saying there's, like, major spoilers. So, yeah, I do have it. Here's my copy of Wolverine. I don't think I can open it up to show you guys anything, though, because apparently it's not safe for me. I need to get caught up. I'm excited to read Sabretooth War, though. Did you guys read the Sabretooth series that happened as well? That was really good. And then I was reading Sabretooth in the Exiles when I also kind of fell off. I need to get back and finish that. Who was doing that? Laval, who's also doing the Sabretooth War, which I love. I love when writers are, like, writing these characters and then they, like, collab together for a story because it's got both characters. That's always cool. So Brian says we need a live-action Adam Brashear now that we have Eternals and Celestials in the MCU. I don't think he's too far above the current power scale in the MCU. Yeah, you want a Blue Marvel in there? I don't know, man. I would be pretty sweet. I would be super here for that. I feel like he doesn't get enough love in the comics, which makes me skeptical as to if they'd use him in the MCU. Or if they did, like, would they keep him who he is, or would they try to change him or something? But I don't know, we're also getting... You know what? Actually, he could maybe show up in Fantastic Four, because Adam Brashear was also, like, a popular... Not necessarily a popular hero, because of the whole civil rights people butting heads. But he was around in the 60s, and we're getting the Fantastic Four movie, and that's going to be set in the 60s and be a period piece. So maybe that's where we get Blue Marvel. That would be cool. I'd be down. Zabrian is saying Sabretooth Wars is so good. My local shops keep selling out of it, so I've been following it on Comics Explained channel. Oh my gosh, they keep selling out of it. Well, then I'm very lucky that I'm getting it. I'm sure, and I think this issue is old as well. So Brian says they used him in Gods recently, so he could show up. Oh, really? He was in Gods? Man, I gotta catch up on Gods. We've been collecting it. I just haven't read it yet. I read the first issue, the first 2 issues. Maybe only the first issue. It's also coming out slowly, isn't it? It's not like... Is Gods actually coming out monthly, or are there gaps? Mick Ryan says he'd get Adam Warlock treatment. I don't think he would. I also didn't actually mind what they did with Adam Warlock, because I don't know if they're going to do anything else with him, but I wouldn't mind also if they did more with him, because I think they still could do that. I don't think he would get Adam Warlock treatment. Adam Warlock is also kind of a weird character. Adam Brashear, I think, is pretty... It's weirdly grounded. I don't know. I don't know. Would he get the Adam Warlock treatment? Adam Warlock was done pretty goofy. Dante said, who's Duck's favorite Marvel character? Oh. I don't know. I don't know who I'd say. I know he loves Batman, and I know he loves Green Lantern. But favorite Marvel character? Duck, are you in this chat? If you want to pipe in. I don't want to speak for him. Well, I don't know. Who does he love the most? I don't know. I would say he probably really loves Doctor Doom. He really loves the Maker. He likes a lot of villains in the Marvel universe. What heroes does he like? Game Root says, any Spider-Man comic that you didn't enjoy? Yeah, I wasn't as big of a fan of Dark Web when I read it. Of course, I didn't read all of it, so keep that in mind. But I popped in here and there, and I read Beyond before that. Duck and I read that together. And I liked Beyond until the end. Kind of the wheels fell off at the end for me, but the rest of it was pretty fun. But I really didn't like Dark Web. And it sucks, because I really like Zeb Wells. I'm not the type of person that also reads a story, and just because the story is, like, written by a writer, I'm like, this writer's terrible. I don't, like, cancel writers because they wrote a story I didn't like, or anything like that, but I really like Zeb Wells because I really liked Hellions. And then I just felt bad. I was like, oh no. But yeah, and some of the stuff that I think is happening now with Spider-Man is not really my bread and butter. Someone was asking about Gods. Game Roots is saying, never heard of Gods. So Gods is basically like Jonathan Hickman's... He said he wants it to be like Marvel's Sandman. So he's building like this whole new like world of heroes and like this whole world within Marvel of like things that are going on like sort of behind the scenes, like undercover, and it's this whole idea of like science versus magic. I think it's going to be a slow build, but I think once it gets going, it's going to be really good. So it might be a good thing to get in on the ground floor of, in my opinion, just because I feel like a lot of stuff with Jonathan Hickman is more of a slower build, and he loves to world build, and he's really good at it. So Hellions is cool. Yeah, Hellions was really good. It made me cry. I'm still brokenhearted from Hellions. Just Rob says, I'm looking up Marvel audio drama. All I'm finding is podcasts about Marvel comics. Yeah, I think the people that do them, let me look. Look up Marvels or look up Wolverine The Long Night. That was the first one. Let me see if I can drop a link for you. Wolverine The Long Night. Or if you look up the Squirrel Girl radio show. Marvel's Wolverine, The Lost Trail is the one that comes after. Why can't I find Long Night? Long Night? There it is. Marvel's Wolverine, The Long Night. Why is this a... Why, this isn't what I want. Playlist. No, I just want the series. What the heck? There it is. Why are the playlists coming up before the actual show? I'm going to plug it into both chats for you guys, in case you want to check it out. But yeah, the Squirrel Girl radio show is also really, really good. Squirrel Girl. But I think Sirius usually does them. Marvel, Squirrel Girl. But they do also have their own network of podcasts as well. And they're also really good. I listen to Women of Marvel on the regular. And I love that. Here's Squirrel Girl for you guys, if you want to check that out. All right, Evil Webline, thanks for lurking. Dirk Too Many says, cut the live. Yes! Hey, Amanda. Hello, Dirk. How's it going? Zabrian says, shop near here only orders 3 copies at a time. 3 copies at a time? That's crazy. Yeah, I think I said the last time I saw Blue Marvel, he was doing something with Doctor Doom. That's the last time I saw him. I don't remember what series it was. But I want to say it was Doctor Doom had a series and Blue Marvel was in it randomly. And I was like, what is he doing here? But I was just like, I'm just happy he's in a comic. I'll take it. And I like Doctor Doom and I like Blue Marvel, so why not? Gamerid says Squirrel Girl's design in earlier comics was scary. I don't know if it was scary. I wouldn't say it was scary. It was different, though, that's for sure. Different than what she looks like now. They definitely, I want to say, like, modernized her, but also just made her, like, super cute and, like, pretty. And she was kind of just really awkward before. I mean, she's still awkward. But she's super cute. Squirrel Girl had a major glow up. We'll say that. X-Men Red. Oh, X-Men Red was so good. X-Men Red, or it's still going on, I think. But I've only popped in for a few issues. That was one of the ones on Duck's list. But I have popped in here and there, and X-Men Red is pretty sick, I gotta say. All right, I should probably look at what you guys put in the community post, because I said I was going to do that, and I have it open, and then I just didn't do that. So let's do that. Antonio, you said Excalibur. Talk about Excalibur. Which Excalibur are you asking about? Like modern Excalibur? Old Excalibur? Old Excalibur is nuts. Modern Excalibur was interesting, but I feel like it was hard because it built up a lot of cool stuff, but then it just didn't really go anywhere for some reason. Yes, and Connoisseur did ask, you reading Ultimate Spider-Man? And I did answer that, but I said, yeah, no, I'm not reading it, but I have been keeping up with it. The current Ultimate Spider-Man, to be clear, 2024 Ultimate Spider-Man, I have been keeping up with it, and it sounds amazing. But my ultimate book that I picked to read and collect was, of course, Ultimate X-Men with Peach Momoko, because I love Peach Momoko, I love the X-Men, and it sounds like it's going to be super freaking weird, and I'm so here for that. I have loved Demon Days and Demon Wars, which are all kind of like Marvel World X-Men-y vibes, but in a totally different reality with like Japanese folklore, and it's so pretty. Anyways, I'm just becoming like a huge Peach Momoko fan. I also met her at San Diego Comic-Con, and she was so nice. She was really nice. Actually, the people that were working the booth that were there, that she was doing signings, and because I had to like run around, they were so nice. I was like, well, I can line up for a ticket, but like I have somewhere else I have to be because like I have a meeting at this time. So I'm trying to run around to all my appointments for like influencer stuff and like do interviews. And they were just like, you know what? Like, she's here right now. Like, I think we can just like grab her for a second. And I was like, oh, that's so nice. So I bought some stuff, and I was like, and then Peach signed my comic, and then I had her sign a Deadpool cover that I bought from her, and she was so sweet. She was so nice. So yeah. Reaper PCW is asking, is that Jeff the shark behind you? Yes, it is. Yeah. This is Jeff. I don't know if you saw Reaper, but I have on my YouTube, I just did a reaction. They're doing like little animated shorts on Marvel, and this is my Jeff the Land Shark. I'm not sponsored by these lovely folks, but this is from Sugar Plush Co. I got him off Etsy, and also thank you to Michael, who I believe sent the funds for me to get this little guy off Etsy. Or wait, did I get this one? Michael, did you get this for me, or did I get this one? And then I think you got Moon Knight for me. Moon Knight is in my room. He watches over me, but I have another one from them. I'm going to go get it, actually. I'm going to go get it really quick. I'll be right back. I'll show it to you. It's so cute. He has a little jacket. So this is my Moon Knight one. This is Khonshu. If you know Khonshu, God of the Moon. Lil Khonshu. This is Lil Khonshu. And his coat actually like comes off. Like you could have him wear his coat or not. And I was talking to the shop owner about maybe like doing little accessories, because I was saying I would love like little accessories for Jeff, like a little hat and stuff. And I also have a little cat. This is so embarrassing, but I have a little cat carrier, and I do take Jeff out with me sometimes into the world. So yeah, these are both from Sugar Plush Co. on Etsy. They're really great. They make good stuff, and they're all like super handmade. Like, I don't know if you can see like the stitching and stuff, but they literally feel like handmade plushies that, like, I don't know, your older sibling or your mom or someone made for you. Jeff has little button eyes. It's just really cute. We'll put Conchu over here. Conchu, will you stay? Yeah, he's kind of leaning into Foxy, but that's fine. I'm not embarrassed. I feel like I embarrass other people, though, sometimes when I'm out. With Jeff and his little carrier. What else were people saying here? Philosopher King says, by the way, the internet loves Hickman's new Ultimate Spider-Man. Yeah, I believe they do, Philosopher King. This is what I've heard. It's what I've heard on the interwebs as well. Am I reading the Tom King, Daniel Samparis Wonder Woman? I got it right here. I'm not caught up. Not caught up on this. But I've popped in. I read issue 1, and then I just started collecting it now. And I'm trying to go back through the back issues to get all of it. But it's a little hard to find. But yeah. I think it's pretty cool so far. Oh, there's Steve. Oh, they immediately ruined it by putting Steve in here on the first page for me. Oh no, what's happening to Steve though? Is he good? Oh shoot. Oh, this isn't real, is it? I don't think this is real. I don't think what I read is real. I think it's in Diana's mind. But yes, I do have that. Reaper PCW says, those are awesome. I have to get me a Jeff to go with my few plushies I own. Snorlax, Gengar, Stay Puff, and Trinket from Vox Machina. Yeah, they're on Etsy. Look up Sugar Plush Co. Sugar Plush Co. They are super awesome and really, really lovely as well in terms of their customer service. Just seem like super awesome people as well. I love buying handmade things when I can. Etsy kind of sucks now, though, because, like, everything says it's handmade, but then it's all, like, mass-produced. It's all lies. So you have to, like, comb through now. I watched a whole video on it on Gabby Bell's channel. Well, not on necessarily Etsy specifically, although Etsy was talked about. But just all the drop shipping that's happening and how it, like, ruins the handmade market and makes it really hard for you to figure out what's handmade and what's not. Dante is saying, in Beyond the Spider-Verse, who do you see dying in the movie? I see Miles' dad getting killed, saving a child from a crumbling building. And it's around the time Davis becomes captain, like in the PlayStation 4 Spider-Man game. Well, I would say in Beyond the Spider-Verse, like, that's where Miles is rushing off to, like, stop that from happening in Across the Spider-Verse, right? I think Miles is gonna save his dad, but I don't know. I think something else is gonna happen. I think something different is gonna happen. I don't know. But I don't know what it's gonna be. Maybe no one will die. Doesn't seem like a Spider-Man story, but maybe no one will die. I was really hoping that they were going to be doing a sort of version of the Inheritors with Miguel kind of being like a vampire Spider-Man. But apparently he is kind of like that in the comics. I didn't know that about him. I don't think he is exactly like that in the comics. Someone was saying that's a thing in 2099. Jarell is asking, have you read any issues or series from Boom Studios' Power Rangers? I have read Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I've read up to, I think, issues 16, I want to say. I really liked it. I thought it was really cool. I love how big it is. I love the idea of going to, like, an alternate world. That was really cool. And just, Also, a lot of the interpersonal stuff. And it just feels more grounded, you know? Like, I'm a big Mighty Morphin fan. But the thing is like, when you go back, you're like, yeah, I was definitely a kid when I watched this. It's a little harder to connect as an adult. And what I like about what I've read of Boom Studios Power Rangers is that it is very, it feels more, like, grounded in reality, if that makes sense. Oh, the one other thing I was talking about as well earlier, Jarrell, have you checked out Radiant Black? Have you checked this out yet? You should check out Radiant Black if you haven't yet. It's the same writer as Mighty Morphin. It's Kyle Higgins. But it is literally like Power Rangers, but if people were like adults instead of teens. Teens with attitude. Antonio Martinez says, Edge of Spider-Verse, Spider-Man dies. That is true. There have been many Spider-Mans, Spider-Mans, Spider-Womens, Spider-People, Spider-Folks, Spider-Totems that have died. But, I don't know. I'm just like, I feel the threat is real, but I'm just not sure if they're going to go there. Because I don't know. Well, I just don't know if we need to go there, I guess, is the other thing. Like, do we really need Miles' dad to die in Across the Spider-Verse? Has Miles not suffered enough? So I'm not sure. I think he's going to stop it. But I do think it's going to have a chain effect, and it's going to cost him something. Philosopher King says Power Rangers is kind of cringe when you watch it as an adult. Yeah, I mean, it's I still like it, but it's definitely, you know, it's definitely something that kids were the target. You can tell. I still have fun with it. I mean, I watch things that are for kids all the time. To be fair. I still am a kid in many ways, in many respects. I'm like a big kid. Dante said, I'm watching Across the Spider-Verse, like right now? You're watching it right now? Gamerich said, have you heard about the Justice League versus the Titans and Godzilla? Yes, I have. I was reading previews of it in the back of Titans, I think. I think it was in the back of Titans. Or was it in Nightwing? Not in what I have here. Something I've already read. Not my new stuff. You're watching it right now? Wow, Dante. That is, I'm assuming you've seen it before, though, so you don't have to, like, focus on it, but that's a pretty cool time. You're watching me, and you're watching Across the Spider-Verse. That, I feel honored to be watched alongside that. Antonio says Batgirl is the best comic. Which Batgirl, Antonio? Philosopher King said, did Kyle write the Shattered Grid story arc in Power Rangers? I read that recently, and it's probably my fave Power Rangers story arc. I think so, but let me check. Shattered Grid. Let's see. I think he did. Yeah, Kyle Higgins. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Shattered Grid. What does this collect? This collects Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 25 to 30, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Free Comic Book Day Special, and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Shattered Grid 1 in the trade paperback. So is that the one? Does that sound like what you're talking about? Because yes, Kyle. Kyle did that. He's great. He's also just a really cool dude. I've talked to Kyle a few times, both online and in person. And anytime I'm at a con where Kyle is, I'm like always like, I gotta stop by the booth and get something. I gotta go say hi to Kyle. Because he's just such an awesome guy. He also found out about Top 10 Nerd through his mom showing him a video, because we covered Radiant Black on Nerd and we did like a video on it. And because UptownDuck was actually reading it at the time and wanted to do something about it. And he showed it to me, and so then I was writing about it and I was reading it, and I was like, this is really cool. I get it. And then Kyle was like, that's so cool that you like did this video. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, really? The person I work with is such a big fan of your work on Radiant Black. It's so good. And I was like, I also love Power Rangers. But yeah, he's super nice. Have I been reading Chip Zdarsky's Avengers Twilight? I have not. Is it good? I kind of wanted to get it, and then we got to the shop and it was there, and Duck was like, do you want to get Avengers Twilight, and I was like, why would I want to get this? And he was like, you literally said you wanted to get it. And I was like, oh yeah, I did. And then he's like, well, if you don't want it anymore, it's fine. And then I was like, I don't know. I remember being so passionate about wanting it, but I just didn't have an interest at the time. Is it really good? I hope it's really good. It's because Duck said it was going to be like Avengers Inc., which I was also sad that like it ended so soon and that I missed out on that. So Jarrell said definitely going to check it out. Radiant Black when I can. Looks awesome. It's really good. It's really good, Jarrell. I highly recommend. And I don't just say that because I also am like a Massiverse influencer. I wanted to be one because I genuinely love everything in the Massiverse. It's so good. They also have a really good game. They just sent me a copy of their, they have a card game that's with Pocket Paragons. I haven't played the full version yet, but they gave out little packs at San Diego Comic-Con. Let me see. I know I have it over here. Hold on a second. It's like so tiny. So this is the game. This is it. Just this little, like, look at this. It's, I don't even know how many cards you get each. I think it's like 8 cards each or something. This is the game. This is Radiant Black versus Rogue Sun. One of you plays as Radiant Black. The other person plays as Rogue Sun. You fight each other. It's very easy to pick up. Very easy to play. Given out for free at San Diego Comic-Con if you went to the Radiant Black panel, which I did, or the Massiverse panel. And so complex. Sorry, my camera doesn't want to focus now. Hello, camera. Focus on me. It's not doing anything. It'll focus eventually. I hope. Or it'll be like this forever and I'll be forever out of focus now. Yeah, so it, let's see if we change this and then just change back. Hey, there we go. It's really fun, really easy to play, and really complex for just the fact that you only have 8 cards. In terms of, like, the strategy and understanding all the elements of the game and sort of how things can work together. There's a lot of strategy in it. I really like board games, so that's another thing about me, in case you didn't know that. Dante says, I've seen Across the Spider-Verse at least 12 times. The first time was in theaters. Nice. Yeah, I think I saw it 2 times in the theater, or maybe 2 or 3. Dante says, Miles' dad dying is also a canon event in the way that it kind of reminds me of a Flashpoint paradox. Well, that is what they say in Across the Spider-Verse, but I don't know if I believe Miguel in saying, like, it's an absolute thing. It, like, has to happen. I'm like, but does it though? But maybe we'll see why, if it doesn't happen, why it's bad. And then we'll see Miguel's point, perhaps. Philosopher King says, that's the Power Ranger story I was talking about. Might be the best Power Ranger story out there. Great job, Kyle. Yeah, he's great. He's great. Philosopher King says, Avengers Twilight feels like something entrenched Marvel readers would enjoy. It's a bit too deep on the references for this DC reader. Okay, so you think I might like it because it's, like, it's deep in the lore? Okay, well, maybe I will have to pick it up. Or maybe at least pick up the trade when it's done. When it becomes a trade. It's just hard because, like, right now, my pull list has... Let me pull it up, and I can tell you guys how many comics I have on it. Also, I should look at other comments that y'all said on the post. So, yeah, we're talking about Ultimate Spider-Man. Oh, yeah. Nick was talking about me commenting on his Havoc video. Nick's stuff is so good. Have you discussed the state of X-Men since Hellfire 2023? And I said, I have talked about it. I am not caught up on everything. But Hellfire Gala 2023 was a weird moment for me when I read it. I read it after it happened. I was late to the party, literally. And I was holding off because I knew it was going to be the last Hellfire Gala, and I just think I wasn't ready. But I did obviously get things spoiled for me, because that's also kind of part of my job to know that stuff. So I kind of knew what happened, but I didn't know exactly how it happened. And I remember when they said Hellfire Gala, we're going to have like a new X-Men team, and that like Dazzler was going to be one of the people on it. I was so excited because I love Dazzler. She's one of my favorite characters in all of comics. Definitely in Marvel Comics. And then Hellfire Gala 2023 happened. And I was really sad. And I was also like, some of this is confusing and doesn't really like make sense the way it's written. Like, I don't really get, like, why is this happening? And like, there's so many counters that I could see to things that happened in it just based on everything else that I've read in the Krakoan era. So I kind of was like sad. And then I was also kind of just like, I don't want to say mad. I don't think I was mad, but I was kind of just like disappointed, you know? And now we're here, and there's some things that are happening that I think are really cool, to be honest. I went back to X-Men, and I was reading everything that's happening with Dugan's X-Men and how... I don't have a copy of X-Men here. I just have Fall and Rise. But just the whole idea of, like, what happens when the X-Men are splintered and, you know, everything I think that's happening with Jean and the White Hot Room and all of that stuff seems super interesting. So I think they're bringing it back. But yeah, for a moment there, I was a little worried. And A Amusing Streamer, which also fantastic username there, said, I only ask because now that they're in the true final Krakoan chapter, and most of us have accepted it, and the angle they have decided to go with Xavier in the No Place and the Dominion, which I kind of think we were already going there because of what I knew of Sins of Sinister, which I still haven't read all of Sins of Sinister. I really want to read it because I was really hyped for that event, but I just was trying to focus on indie comics at that time in terms of my collection. So I really want to go back and get the collected hardcover of it and read it. But I kind of knew, like, so that was the part where I was like, I feel like we already have a direction where we're probably going with that. But yeah, I mean, I understand everything that happened with Xavier was a little weird. Amusing Streamer says, Gillen appears to finally be having fun for the first time since AXE, lol. And I also feel like Karen Gillan sort of leading a lot of this with Immortal X-Men and everything that was happening with that is pretty sick. I'm very happy about that. Dead X-Men is also interesting, but everything happening right now is far more interesting than anything since Hellfire 2023, says Amusing Streamer. And it is 100% thanks to Gillen's rise of the powers of X. And I would say, I would add to that, I think you could probably extend back to Immortal, because I think that's where this all kind of, all the threads started. Amusing Streamer goes on to say, this is what we needed hints of before Hellfire 2023. Consider if Xavier were aware of the threat and chose to allow the attack on the Gala to proceed because he believed it was the only way to defeat the Dominion and Moira. I agree. I feel like it was so weird that people got blindsided. I was like, what's happening? How are you gonna blindside all these people? And Amusing Streamer goes on to say, that could have been a huge moment. Instead, we got the bearded and defeated Xavier for a few months until he suddenly got serious. I'm going to miss the Krakoan Age for many reasons, and I really hope they don't crash land. Lol. Amusing Streamer, I'm with you. I also am worried about the landing. It might be bumpy, but I'm just hoping we level out. Because I've really loved a lot of the Krakoan era, so it'd be really sad for me if we ended on a bad note. Although it would be easier for me to maybe say goodbye. So that would be the silver lining for those of us that like Krakoa. Reaper's asking, what's Mr. Sinister up to these days? Well, he basically took over like the entire universe at one point. Yeah. And that was a whole thing. That was Sins of Sinister, basically. Also, Mr. Sinister is not the only Mr. Sinister, and it turns out that Nathaniel Essex made, like, 4 clones, and then also that we thought Nathaniel died, and then, like, Mr. Sinister took over. That was, like, one of the retcons of the story of, like, Nathaniel Essex becoming Sinister, but then it turns out that Nathaniel also lived, so there's, like, 5 of them, and each one is sort of focused on a different form of evolution. Whoa, thank you for the 100 bits. Everything tastes better with bits. Thank you, Chatter BKZ. And you're right, it does. Everything does taste better with bits. Thank you for the biddies. I appreciate you. 100 bits. Also, I'm so sorry. Richard99 and Aduzia Damasceno. Thank you for subscribing over on YouTube. Yeah. So that's kind of what's happening with Sinister. Philosopher King says Avengers Twilight kind of feels like it's trying to do a Kingdom Come type story for the Marvel Universe. Huh. I'm intrigued. You're making me intrigued, Philosopher King. I'm going to tell you guys what's on my pull list, and then maybe you can suggest some things to cut. Because it's really long right now, and I'm thinking I might need to rework it. Pull list. Antonio says Sinister Redemption. I mean, Sinister, yeah, Sinister also right now, so because of everything that happened with Sins of Sinister, he's in Krakoa. So he's in the pit in Krakoa, and, like, everyone also now left Krakoa. So what he's doing is he's, like, there's a piece of him, because when he was taking over everything, he was, like, in everybody's minds. He was, like, within them. And there's a part of him that's still left in Xavier. Even after Xavier, like, cleaned out his brain, this piece of Sinister's still there. And this Sinister's like, you can erase me if you want, now that you know that I'm here. But I wouldn't, because the Dominion is coming. And I might be the only person to figure that out. Chatter BKZ says, Deadpool, Wolverine, and Iron Man. That's my trio. Wow. Iron Man in there. That's interesting, Chatter. That's interesting. Iron Man. Tell me about that. How does that dynamic work? Because, like, I've seen Deadpool, Wolverine, and Cap, but I've never seen Deadpool, Wolverine, and Iron Man together. Honestly, sounds wild. Honestly, would read. Okay. Yeah, one of the Sinisters took over a Dominion. Yeah, so Dominion is kind of like, also, just so you know, because that's a very comic book term. Dominion is basically like taking over the world, like taking over all of reality. And so there was this like race to get to Dominion, and then Sinister thought that he got there first, but then it turned out that like he'd already been beaten basically by one of the other Sinisters, like Mr. Sinister. And Duck was saying he thinks it's going to be the Lady Sinister. She is, what's her symbol? She diamond? No. Mr. Sinister is diamond. Why would I even say that? So they each have like a suit. So there's like the Sinister of Hearts. There's, I think Clubs is humans. Sinister of Hearts, I think, is maybe the lady with the white. Yeah, she's the lady in white, I think. And I think Duck was saying he thinks it's Hearts. And I kind of agree based on what I know, but I haven't really read enough. Oh, I'm so itchy. To wear this like monitor and it's making me really itchy. Dante says, I'm looking forward for Daredevil Born Again. I have an idea about the plot of the show. Oh, what's your idea about the show? Do you guys think they're going to go with actual Born Again? Or are they going to do something different? I think they're going to do something different. Why does Lady Sinister not wear any shoes? This is Philosopher King? That is, that's a good question. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't like shoes. Look, she got to sell those comics. She got to show her feet. Marvel demands it. She's making that bag. She's selling those feet pics, maybe. I don't know. Does she never wear shoes? I haven't noticed this, but now that you're saying it. I gotta look it up. Oh yeah, and also this is confusing now when you go into the threads or the wikis to try to... Orbis Stellaris? Is that her name? No, Mother Righteous. Mother Righteous is one of the four. Oh, and she's based off Rebecca, who's his wife. Suit of Hearts. She does not really wear shoes. You are correct. She's always got her feet out. Mother Righteous shoes. Marvel Comics. Images. She's got to wear shoes at some point. No, she always has her feet out. Oh my gosh. What does it mean? Mother Righteous, please. Scandalous. I don't know. I don't know what that's about. But if you look at the pictures, the evidence is clearly there. One of the Sinisters reminds me of a guru. Oh, you're probably talking about Nathaniel Essex. I feel like he's the one that looks the most guru because he's like an old guy. Because he's just a guy. Just Rob says there are people that will not wear shoes. And Mother Righteous is clearly one of them. Philosopher King says, thank you, Mommy Righteous, for not wearing shoes. Lol. I know. Seems kinky to me. Seems like it's somebody's kink. I don't know. Especially in those designs. But hey, you know, gotta sell those comics. Gotta sell those comics any way you can. Dante said from the set photos I saw yesterday, Bullseye might kill either or both. I'm just gonna read. I don't want to read this out loud in case people want to avoid spoilers. I mean, I would say if they're doing something like that, it sounds like they are going with kind of more of a traditional Born Again story. In that case, I don't think they are though. I think they're gonna do something different. Orbis Stellaris is a guru-looking dude. But isn't Orbis Stellaris, isn't one of them just like Nathaniel? Because he actually survives? Oh, no, he is created. Never mind. I thought Nathaniel was also one. But is he the human one? Or is he technology? He looks like technology because he's got wires coming out of him. Was that his thing? Or aliens. One of them's aliens, I think. Oh no, is he? Oh, he's Spades. And then I think Clubs is the one, is Dr. Stasis, who's the one that I'm the most familiar with. Philosopher King says, Mommy Righteous, Manny Petty is always on point, though. Yeah, I mean, she probably just uses magic, you know? I feel like that's what Wanda would do, too. They just use magic to make themselves, like, done. I wish I could just be, like, magic and my nails were done. That'd be sick. I would do that all the time. I never really do my nails because I rock climb. I'm gonna have to actually trim them tomorrow if I decide to go climbing tomorrow. Because they're a little too long. And then I'm like, I want to paint them, but if I climb, then I'm gonna be messing them up. But I love having painted nails. Don't clip that. What are people talking about? Okay, let me tell you this poll list, actually. Let me tell you my poll list. Okay, ready? Here we go. This is what I have so far. No One. The Forged. Wolverine Madripoor Knights. Although I haven't been able to get issue 1. It wasn't at my shop when I went, so hopefully I can find a copy of it. Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. I Hate Fairyland. Nightwing. Except Nightwing soon. I might be getting rid of it because Tom Taylor and Bruno Redondo are going to be done their run soon. We're on the last. That's... Where is it? Here it is. This is the beginning of the last arc that they're doing. Nightwing 111. So, I might be gone after this one. But we'll see. It depends on who takes it over and what happens. And apparently Tom Taylor's going to be doing something else. And now I'm like, do I follow him? Do I stick with Nightwing? So we'll see. Titans, also Tom Taylor. No One. I already said No One. Star Trek from IDW, which is really good, by the way. If there are any Trekkie fans in the chat and you like comics, you should read Star Trek. It's fantastic. Cobra Commander. Duke. Spider-Punk Arms Race. X-Men. Ultimate X-Men. Dark Ride. Jackpot and Black Cat. Black Cloak when it comes back, but that's not till the summer. And Wonder Woman. And then Fall of House of X and Rise of Powers of X, but there's but yeah, that's, I gotta get that, so that's not going anywhere. Nightwing is cool. I agree. Nightwing is great. GeekX Pop says, I usually let my daughter do my nails. Nice. Nice. I have no daughters to do my nails. Maybe I should do that. That would be helpful. I'm also, like, not very good at doing my own nails. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I have shaky hands. Or you know how when you do your nails and then you have to, like, do it with the non-dominant hand? It's always great when you're doing it with the right hand on the left. You're like, oh yeah, this is great. And then as soon as I switch, I'm like, oh boy, this is rough. I have to do weird things to try to make that work. I should do another nail painting stream. I did that one time, and it was actually really fun. I have these really pretty colors that were sent to me. Who sent them to me? Oh, they sent me a mask, too. Oh, no, I can't remember. Anyways, they're great, and they sent me colors, and they were inspired by Xbox. And they were just contacting me online, and they were like, we just want to send these to you as a free gift, and if you want to post about them, then that's cool, but you don't have to. I was like, that's so nice. And they're also really nice colors. And I love Xbox, so very cool. Gamerid says the new Marvel Zombies is interesting. There's a new Marvel Zombies? We're still doing that? Interesting. Just Rob says, I like the new G.I. Joe. I haven't read it yet, but I do have Cobra Commander 2 here. And I have Duke 1 and 2, and I have Cobra Commander 1. So I am going to read it. I'm going to read it. Yeah, let's see. Is there any spoilers in here? Can I not open this? Is this not safe if we take a peek? I think we could take a peek. And then the cool thing is that Image is also letting Larry Hama still do his G.I. Joe, which is a separate thing, but I like that it's still just getting to keep continuing after hundreds of issues. Oh, this looks nuts. This looks hardcore. I already like the look of this a lot. It's the first few pages. Aw, that's so cute. I love that, GeekX. GeekX says she's just into doing makeup and she ebbed to try it out on me a few times. I didn't mind. The artwork looks great, right? I know. Who's doing the art for this? So this is Joshua Williamson who's writing. And Andrea Milana? Andrea. What's Andrea done? I don't know if it's Andrea or Andrea. I never know. I'm going to assume it's Andrea. I feel like usually it is. But let's click. Let's check out their Instagram. Oh, what? They only have 2,000 followers? That's nuts. They on Twitter? They are. What? They only have 400 followers on Twitter? I'm following them. I'm gonna give them a follow on Instagram too. Seems like a travesty. Everyone go follow them. Their artwork is so good. I'm still not sure if it's Andrea or Andrea. But their artwork is freaking sweet. I will say that. Here's their Insta if anyone wants to check it. Amusing Streamer says Transformers has been brutal. Brutal. Brutal in a good way. I've heard Transformers has been really good, but I decided to do the G.I. Joe side. Duck is doing the Transformer side. But then Duck is also like, I also want to read G.I. Joe. And I was like, we chose our allegiances. Really enjoying what Image is doing with Transformers and G.I. Joe. Oh, okay. So I'm assuming it's a good brutal. It's a good brutal. Very good. Very good. Okay, good. Good, 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 good. Didn't you do Dahlia in the Dark? Dahlia in the Dark. I don't know that one. Sounds familiar. Comic. Let's see. Dahlia in the Dark. Dahlia in the Dark. Oh, it just tells me the author. Yeah! There you go. Yes. Yes, she did. If it is, in fact, Andrea. Okay, it's Andrea. It's Andrea. It's definitely Andrea. Sorry, Andrea. I think I'm saying that right. Andrea Milana is a cartoonist from Rome, born in 1993. After graduating in painting from the Academy of Fine Arts, he entered the world of comics through something. This is Simon & Schuster celebrating 100 years. Oh. Some information about the author actually on Dahlia in the Dark, although artist, but artists are also in a way authors when you think about it. Even if they're not writing, they are helping to create the story through art, and sometimes they have a lot more say in that, depending on who they're working with. Through self-publishing, to which he devoted himself for several years. Dahlia in the Dark marks his debut as a professional artist in the U.S. market. Nice. I haven't read that. Should I check that out? Dahlia in the Dark? Should I add that to my reading list? Geekx? Looks really pretty. Might need to read it just for the art. Antonio Martinez says, I have a Cobra shirt. Oh, so we know your allegiances lie, Antonio. You're a Cobra instead of Joe. No, that's cool. That's really cool. Dante said, I sent a link for the set photos for Born Again. Oh, okay. Where did you send it? In the chat? Or in, the Daredevil costume looks badass, though, says Dante. Nice. Rapala says, hydrate. Thank you. Chatter says, imagine the tech that Stark could make for Wolverine and Deadpool. Kind of like the Iron Spider suit. Deadpool's suit would have a boombox and plenty of artillery, and Wolverine would have hand blasters like Iron Man. But imagine like a porcupine attack from Wolverine. Man, you're selling me on it. You're selling me on it, Chatter. I kind of dig it. The thing is, would Tony want to make tech for these people? Maybe. I don't know. Did you send it on the Discord, Dante? Yeah, the link is on the Twitch Discord. But I can send it here too. No, I'll open it up on Discord. Also, if you guys aren't in the Discord, we do have a Discord. You can come. Sometimes we put cool stuff in there. Additional stuff that you can check out, like these sweet set photos that Dante shared with us. I don't know what I'm talking about like this. Let's see. I just don't want any spoilers. You know? I don't want anything to be spoiled for me. I don't know. This suit looks like it's going to be black to me. It looks black and maybe blue, but it might not even be blue because that could be blue screen and then it's going to be edited. So I think that's actually going to be where they go in and touch it in CG. So we did have a Born Again show. Oh! I didn't know this person was going to be talking. Oh, is this going to be his girlfriend? Okay, I already know I probably can't look at this because I have theories. I feel like I know who this girlfriend is going to be based on Matt's dating history. I'm just going to skim through because I don't want to see any major spoilers. Yeah, I think this is the woman that he almost is like married to, that he gets engaged to. Not the one he actually marries, who's also blind. But the one he has like the healthiest relationship with. Unless I'm wrong. Someone tell me if I'm wrong. This girl with curly hair. I'm just skipping through. If my computer will let me. It seems that my browser is frozen. Maybe I have too many things open. Let's close these. I have too many tabs open, guys. Computer says no. Do, 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 do. Hell's Kitchen. Definitely cool to see Bullseye in here. Yeah, the suit looks really cool. I like it. But it's also interesting because apparently they said they didn't want it to be anything like Netflix, but I don't know if that's the same people that are working on it now because I also know they changed who's working on it, so they had to like basically reshoot all of it. Yeah, Karen Page is looking like she's getting roughed up. Deborah Ann Wool looking a little bit bloody here. Smiling though, so you know, having fun on set clearly. Interesting, interesting. Yeah, who's the girlfriend that I think this is? Let me see if I can pull it up. Did anyone say it in the chat? You guys know who I'm talking about? Good evening, Locke. How's it going? GeekX says, I've never read it, but the name triggered the memory, and I thought it was Andrea, not Andrea. My bad. All good. I do that all the time, GeekX. It's like, I feel like Italian names always mess me up, too, and then I'm like, that's why I'm always like, masculine or feminine? Which name is this? It's only because I've said it wrong before in videos and stuff, and then I'm like, oops. But thank you for pointing that out. Good eye. Good eye. You nailed it. Gameroot says, is Madam Web worth watching? No. I would say no. I would say don't do it. I normally don't say that, but I have to say it this time around. Cobra has better marketing, says Amusing Streamer. Amusing Streamer says, and I like that Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are not getting along. There is so much unresolved trauma always ignored between them. Is there? I haven't checked out the new series yet, but I do have it here. The first issue. They were getting along okay, I thought, in Scarlet Witch. They're not getting along all of a sudden? Aw, guys, come on. Can you get along? Looking cute. Looks like they're teaming up together pretty good here. There's Darcy. Oh my gosh. Oh, that sucks. I was on Darcy's side here. She's asking if the secret inside is that Magneto's really their bio dad. I would be like, that'd be sick. So far, it looks like they're getting along. And I'll have to read the rest of it. If you say there's some trouble brewing between the siblings, I would not be surprised. Definitely had drama before. Oh, okay, let me say who I think that girlfriend is with Daredevil. Daredevil. Exes. Let's see. This is just a list of ladies. No. She's probably going to be near the top. Kristen McDuffie. That's who I thought it was. But maybe not. I thought it was Kristen McDuffie. Is Kristen McDuffie going to be in Born Again? Born Again. Oh, shoot. Yeah. They did say that. I didn't know about that. That's pretty interesting. I do like Kristen McDuffie and Daredevil together. They have a really interesting relationship. GeekX says, I never did like that they undid Magneto being their father. Well, welcome on into the community, GeekX. Welcome. That is like the #1 foundation, I feel like, of my community. Actually, that's not true. If you did like that they undid it, if you were like a big fan of that in Axis or something, you would still be welcome here, of course. I'm just kidding. But that is the thing that bothers me so much. I know. I don't like it either. I'm always just like, anytime anything happens, I think to myself, could this be it? Could they be undoing it? Could they be re-retconning that retcon? But no. However, Magneto did say that no matter what, he thinks of Wanda as his daughter. So, at least we have that. Gameroot says, is it me or does it seem like Scott, Cyclops, is leaning more to being a Magneto? Right now in the comics? Gameroots? Rabalo says, don't get me started on Madam Web. Yeah, it was, it's rough. It's rough. It's rough. All right, so we also have Star Trek. This is another one that I got, which I'm actually think I'm caught up. I think this will be the next one that I read. So in this Glass and Bone story, basically the crew that we have here of the Theseus, the USS Theseus, they have to go to this planet, and then they are trying to like negotiate for peace. Very, you know, as you do in Star Trek. But then it turns out that Romulans are there, and yeah, they gotta like, or not, yeah, Romulans are there, and they gotta basically deal with all that. I don't even know what's happening here, actually. Wait, okay, maybe I'm not here yet. Maybe I still got a couple issues to read. I don't know what's happening. Last time I remember, this planet that they're on too, it has like dinosaur people on it. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. That has been a really interesting read. I'm quite happy we see a certain villain again. Have you read the annual? Yes, I believe I have. Star Trek annual? Yes, I have. I have read the Star Trek annual. It was pretty fun. You know what I really love about this Star Trek run? It's just such a mashup of like everything that you love. It's honestly, as a Star Trek fan, it's like, it's the same thing that I feel sometimes when I dip into the Doctor Who comics, which I haven't gone as into as Star Trek, so I can't comment too much on the quality of it. But just this idea of like characters that you're like, I don't know if I'd ever see these people on the screen together. More so with Star Trek because we have so many generations of it. Oh, man. Good night, Daniel. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Have good sleeps. GeekX says, I try to keep an open mind to changes in comics, but being a reader since 81, it was a hard pill to swallow, that change. Yeah, I mean, things will always change, but there's some things that we're just like, but that's been there forever. And I think with that change, the other thing is like with Wanda and Pietro not being Magneto's kids, there's stuff that just doesn't make sense when you make that change. Like, there's stuff that I still think about that I'm like, but then how do we explain this? Doesn't make any sense. Thanks for this stretch, Angelus. Amusing Streamer said, I really enjoyed seeing that backstory and the direction they took her escape. Yeah, I agree, Amusing Streamer. It is. It's just cool to see everyone come together. I really like it. And Day of Blood was amazing. I didn't know that was the first Star Trek like crossover event we've ever had. To me, that's crazy. that that's the first time we've done that. Like, how has it been this long and we're just doing that now? I'm sorry. What? Antonio says, Hellcat is my favorite comic. Hellcat is a good one. Good pick. Oh, I got another hydrate here. I'm just going to go get some more water, friends. I will be right back. Me trying to go get water and my be right back button not working because I always forget I have to open my Stream Deck app before I can use my Stream Deck. Is it still not working even though it did open it? Wow. Okay. Okay, well, I'll do it by hand. I need to fix that. I don't know. The whole point of having a Stream Deck is to make it easier. Okay, I'll be back in just a second. I have returned. Not getting food, getting a drink, but you know, same diff. Thank you for the hydrate, Angelus. Thank you for the posture check, Angelus. Antonio says, yeah, Hellcat is my favorite comic. Hellcat is pretty good. The current Hellcat? Which Hellcat do you like? Scarlet fan says, sorry I missed most of the stream. There's so much weird stuff in comics today. I just discovered All-Star Squadron by Roy Thomas. That's some great reading if you haven't tried it out yet. I don't think I've read All-Star Squadron, but I know of it. But I haven't read it myself. Should I add it to my reading list? My long reading list? Do 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 da da da. Adding Dahlia in the Dark. I'm gonna add it. Oh, it's Mad Cave. I love Mad Cave. Mad Cave Studios. I have some very nice stuff from Mad Cave. They've sponsored Nerd before, and I ran into them at San Diego Comic-Con. And they knew me from doing sponsorships for them on Nerd. And they were so lovely. They gave me some books. And they were like, are you going to be at New York Comic-Con? We'll, like, give you some books. And I was like, you guys are awesome. I will not be at New York Comic-Con this year, but thank you. I'm going to try to go this year, though. I wasn't there last year, but I'm going to try to make it out this year. Because I've never been, and I love New York, and it would be a nice reason to go to New York, and also I get to hang out with people and talk about comics in the city that's really about comics, you know? Historically. GameRoot says, Forget-Me-Not character is unique, and recently I think he may be the most OP X-Men. Forget-Me-Not did pop up in what was it? In not X-Corp. What's the detective agency one? Did I do something to my hand? Oh, my brain is shutting down, guys. It's that time of night. I don't know. Might not be able to go for much longer here. Not X-Corp. X-Factor. X-Factor. Showed up in X-Factor, I think. Frodo Plays RI says, don't spend it on Funko Pops. Thank you for the 5 biddies. Thank you, Frodo. Sorry, SRL? SRL or SRI? Thank you. I won't. Don't worry. Don't worry. I know I have a lot of Funkos in my background, but most of my Funkos that I have are gifted to me, the ones behind me here. I've bought a couple of them, actually, but I get a lot of Funkos gifted to me by people that see them and say, this is one that you need for your collection. Which is how I have such a beautiful and healthy collection. And I have some of the coolest ones. So I feel like other people are better at finding Funkos than I am, to be honest. The new one, X Factor, is cool. I like Marrow. Marrow is cool. Yeah, I read the new X Factor when it came out. I don't think we've had an X Factor since then. The one that Leia Williams did, and it was really good. It was, I didn't read all of it, but I read parts of it, and it was sad. Amusing Streamer said, there's so many incredible series to read. I wonder what age I was when it finally hit me that the creators mattered. Lol, sigh for me. Oh, man. Yeah, I feel like when you write about comics, that's like a thing that you just kind of become really, it becomes really ingrained in your brain. But I always was like that as a kid too. Myself I felt like very disconnected, and it's really interesting when you get older and then you start to realize like, oh, I liked this thing, and then I liked this thing, and like, oh, these are the same people. It's like such a cool thing when your brain clicks into that. Frodo, thank you so much for following over on Twitch. Forget-me-nots abilities working on you, Amanda. It is. No, I'm pretty sure he was an X Factor though. Pretty sure. He was around. He's around for also when Onslaught came back. Wasn't he also there during that? I mean, I think that was that an X Factor? Or was that in Legion of X? Scarlet Fan says, if you like old school World War II comics like The Invaders from the 1970s, you will like it. The series came out in 1981. Yeah, I tend to like 80s comics. All-Star Squadron. I'm gonna look it up. Roy Thomas's All-Star Squadron. Da 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 da. Yeah, I've heard about it, but I've never read it myself. Jerry Ordway. Also a classic. Although, wait, is this who I think it is? Rich Buckler? Is Rich Buckler who I think he is? No, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. I'll add it to my long, long list of things to read. They had their own series as well that also come out. So it'd be volume 1, I'm assuming. Volume 1. Yeah, 1981 to 1987. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I haven't read the full series, but I've definitely read parts of this, actually, for research purposes. I liked it. Parts of it that I've read that I've liked, anyways. Amusing Streamer. Who is Chris Claremont? When I've been reading X-Men for years, for instance. And then you realize, like, oh, Chris Claremont. Actually love everything that he's written. Yeah, that's always fun, right? That's always fun. I know. That's also like me with many things, like movies, games. Hi, Sai. How's it going? Frodo says, you have some cool stuff, though. I want to like them, but I despise them. Fair, Frodo. Fair. They are very material. They do take up space. And also, some people have feels about Funkos in general, which I get. Angela says, I found the Spider-Man Japan Funko Pop. Japanese Spider-Man? Spider-Man, as he says in the series. Scarlet Fan says, Rich Buckler was on the series early on. It even has ties to the Crisis on Infinite Earths. Cool. That makes sense, given the period. Amusing Streamer says, the fun side of that is learning about all the series they touched that you had no idea about. That's true. That's true. And also some of them you're like, wow, that's really good. And then sometimes you're like, oh, this one, even though it's someone that I love and trust, that was a stinky one they did. Because all writers have their good days and their bad days, I think. I mean, we're all of us just humans, are we not? Except for those of us that are mutants. Hey, Christopher, how's it going? GameRoot says Chris Claremont wrote about The Brood. Yeah, I think he's written about The Brood. I don't know if he created The Brood. Is that Chris Claremont? Maybe. Because it's based on the era, actually. Ooh, it's really jazzy right now. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Yes, they were created by Chris Claremont. Makes sense because of the time period. Chris Claremont and Dave Cockrum. A fantastic duo, by the way, in terms of comics. But also a lot of people have written about The Brood since they were created, so Chris Claremont is one of many at this point, I would say. Christopher Townsend says, doing good. I finally finished Arkham Knight. Nice. How was that? Was that the game that you were saying I shouldn't play? Oh, no. Are you just saying you've just finished reading Arkham Knight? I'm sorry. Because I've been playing Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. People say Arkham Knight. My mind is going to the games right now. Do you mean you read Arkham Knight? Or that you played Arkham Knight? Amusing Streamer says, everything from Giant Size X-Men to X-Men 1 was Claremont. This is true. Well, yes, but not X-Men 1, where it started, because then that was Stan Lee. But really, it sounds like it was maybe more... who else did X-Men? X-Men is... Gosh, my brain is done today. X-Men was Stan Lee and Steve Ditko. Jack Kirby. See, look. Steve Ditko's Spider-Man. What am I doing? Who am I right now? Do I even read comics? Yes, I do. Jack Kirby. I wanted to say Kirby, but then I was like, no, I'm second guessing myself. So that was original X-Men. But that's in the 60s. So I'm assuming you mean other X-Men. So those Bat Tank sections are rough, says Amusing Streamer. Philosopher King says, I wish Marvel would introduce xenomorphs into 616 instead of the Brood. I'd love to see that. Well, they do have xenomorphs because they do have Alien now at Marvel. So they could do a crossover at any time. Actually, have they done a crossover yet? I'm surprised if they haven't. But I don't think they have. Reaper says, Amanda, I have a question about Kill the Justice League. Reaper, ask away. Ah, the game. The game. Okay, the game. Finally. Nice. Nice. GameRoot says, okay, thanks, y'all. And the Brood is interesting. It is. The Brood is interesting. You know where the Brood popped up recently? And then they popped up again. Apparently, I don't know. Someone was telling me about something that happened. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense. But anyways, Jonathan Hickman's X-Men had the Brood at the beginning of the Krakoan era. They show up in X-Men. And they were also in, I think, New Mutants. And, which I think was by Vita Ayala at that time. I think they were doing that. And And the Brood get a new king. And it's my boy Brew. It's great. You should read it. I liked that story. But then something else happened, and someone was talking about it, and I was like, oh, I don't like that. But all right. But, you know, I haven't read it, so it's different when you hear a story point and then to read it. Like, a lot of people get mad because they'll be like, I heard this happened. And I'm like, well, yes, but, like, when you read it with the context of the series, actually it makes a lot of sense, and it's actually a pretty good change. Not all changes are like this, but people just will hear that something changed and get, like, upset about it. And I understand, but I'm also like, maybe, like, read it first just to see, because sometimes when you read something, it changes your perspective on it. Sometimes it's all about how it's done. Scarlet fan says, Uncanny X-Men 168, the Kitty Pryde cover, has some crazy crab-like creatures in it, and it gave Lockheed his spotlight. Crab-like creatures. Uncanny X-Men 168? Also, thanks for all the hearts, guys, over on YouTube. I see you clicking the hearts. Appreciate that. Crabs. 168? Professor Xavier is a jerk? That series? That issue? I don't see it. Is it a variant cover? I just see Kitty looking like she'd been beat up. On the cover? Or does she have inside? In it. In it, you said. Oh, sorry. I don't know why. I don't know why I thought. See, this is how I know I'm getting tired. This is how I know. I'm confusing covers with interiors. Christopher says, yeah, some of them are. Gameroot says, wait, don't they got a Wolverine versus Predator comic? Not that I've seen, but could exist. Reaper says, what level should I be at before I go after Green Lantern? Oh, dude, I haven't gone after Green Lantern yet, my friend. I don't know. I went there, and then Green Lantern had all these construct, like, guns set up, and I was like, what? I thought I was supposed to do this now. I think we need a tool to go after Green Lantern. Because have you gone over there? Because if you go over there, I think if you're not ready, it's just gonna, like, not let you do the mission. Like, I went over there, and then everyone in my crew was like, I guess we need to, like, be more prepared. And I was like, well, then why is this even available to me? Reaper says, yes, they have a Wolverine versus Predator comic. A new one? What? When did this come out? Oh my gosh, they do. Oh, of course, it's last year. The year that I was taking off my big two. So I wasn't as in the know on everything. That's so cool. I didn't know about this. Do I need this? Oh, Greg Land on pencils. Oh, but Ken Lashley on pencils. Interesting. And Benjamin Percy writing. I might need that. I definitely need to read it. Probably read it in the Marvel Unlimited app. I'm going to add it to my reading list. That sounds fun. I want to see that team up if that's what ends up happening. Marvel 2023. It makes a weird sound on the mic. Philosopher King said, I loved when Brew made the Brood do the Thriller dance. So good. I don't know. I don't know. The Fed. Ooh. Why did YouTube recommend your live stream? Probably because they thought you'd like it. You got me. I don't know. The algorithm. Why it do what it do. Philosopher King says Magic was laughing at that too. Oh my gosh. I have also loved Magic in the modern age. Just such a fun time. Honestly. Such a fun time. Reaper, you have an extra issue of Wolverine Madripoor Nights? What? That's sick. Yeah, I think because I went last week, but I think because it came out earlier in the month, I missed that it released. I didn't have my dates written down properly in my notes. I have like notes for my pull list and like things that are coming out, and I update it for Duck and I, and it wasn't up to date. It's my own fault, so I missed it. Ah, I would love it. I would love it. Yes, that would be amazing. If you wanna whisper me, I mean my you could send it to my PO there. Are you looking to sell it? What are you thinking? Aw, thank you. That's so nice. Yeah, you can send it to my PO box if you would like. My mailbox. Mail? That's it there. Oh, thank you. That's so nice of you, Reaper. I appreciate it. That's so kind of you. Yeah, if you send it over to me, I will definitely love that. I will definitely give it a read. I really appreciate that. Our shop is pretty good. They usually have like everything, but every now and then there's just stuff that if we're not there like right when it opens, even sometimes just stuff sells out. It's because collectors come in and they buy all the covers, right? It's like, it's crazy. Aw, Reaper, thank you so much for subscribing. Oh, Rapala, thank you so much for gifting a sub to Reaper. Sorry about that. Thank you. That's so nice of you, Rapala. Welcome on into the Fang Gang. Officially Reaper over on the Twitch. Although, you were already part of it. Anyways, just being here. So kind of you. Gold team? Gold team or blue team? What team you guys picking? Man, I have a long list of things here. I have a 10-page reading list. Is that too long? No. Antonio says gold. Picking the gold team. Makes sense considering you did put gold in the chat before. Reaper says, have you ever been to Montreal Comic-Con, Amanda, or any plans to? I have not, but I do have friends that live in Montreal, and I have been meaning to get out there. I'm thinking I might go out to Montreal in August, honestly. When does Comic-Con happen? You have 8 boxes of unread comics? Wow. Rest in peace, Reaper. That is rough. I have 1 and probably a half, but I have 1 that's like full, and then I have like a giant stack of trades, and then I have a giant stack of unread comics on my bedside as well. Well, I mean, it's giant. It's not that giant. It's like this. It's not, it's reasonable. I did do my November challenge, by the way, friends. I feel like I did that video and I never responded, but I did not read nearly as much as I wanted to. But I still want to do a video on it, even though I know it's February now and it's very late. And I want to just do it to hold myself accountable, because I'm going to be like, look, I didn't even make a dent this year in my unread bin, but that's okay because I still tried. And that's what matters. I collect too many comics, and I need to just cut back, I think, a bit, because I'm getting more than I can read at once. Especially when I'm already reading digitally and I'm reading books as well. And I'm also, like, always working. I need to work less so I can read more for work, if that makes sense. It's July 5th to 7th, Montreal Comic-Con. July 5th to 7th. Yeah. When is... San Diego's at the end of the month. So if I did that, I'd have to do... I'd do July. I'd do Montreal at the beginning of the month. And then do San Diego at the end of the month. Yeah, I don't know if I can fit 2 trips into my month, but Montreal's not that far, and I love going to Montreal. And I especially love going to Montreal in the summer. Because it's freaking great. And it's just such a lovely city. I just, like, Quebec in general, I feel like all of our provinces have issues, clearly. But I just feel like Quebec is, like, a nicer province often than Ontario. Antonio says, how often do I go to Comic-Con? I've gone since 2018 every year except for the pandemic. And I didn't go when they did the smaller one that was in November. But I did want to go to that one. I just didn't end up going. So, yeah. Like San Diego Comic-Con? Or which Comic-Con, Antonio? Sorry, I should have clarified. Comic-Con International? Reaper says, yeah, Montreal is a great city in the summer. It is. It is a great... I mean, Toronto is also pretty cool in the summer, but, like, it's pretty cool over here, too. But Montreal is really nice. It's just nice to, like, be outside. It also just feels like the air is fresher in Montreal. I don't know if that's true, though. Reaper says, I buy my comics, then I get back to gaming, and I forget to read what I bought. Yeah. Yeah, I feel you, Reaper. You're in good company. Game Root says they should make a comic book series based on Marvel runes. No, Game Roots. I don't think they should. I don't know if we should do that. I don't know, man. Runes is too crazy. Charles says, greetings, good people. Greetings, Charles. Hello. Welcome in. Antonio says, which ones? San Diego. San Diego Comic-Con. San Diego Comic-Con. I've actually never been to Toronto Comic-Con. Is that weird? I think that's weird. I've lived here for over a decade of my life. And I've never been to Toronto Comic-Con. I go to Fan Expo, but never been to Comic-Con in Toronto. Amusing Streamer says, there are times I see a wall of text and I'm just like, nope, not feeling it. Also true. Also true. Yeah, hopefully I'll get to read... I mean, I did read some comics today, but I read digital, so I didn't read any of my physical. So, yeah. Yeah. I read for my comic book club. I have a comic book club I do on OF, and right now we're doing House of M, and so I read my issues of House of M and screenshotted my pages, and then I just have to go through and make my notes for my comic book club for next month, which I think is going to be really good. And I'm really excited for. We just, this March, we're going to be talking about House of M Fantastic Four issue number 1 and House of M Spider-Man issue number 1. I definitely liked one of those more than the other. I will say that. Antonio says, I've been to that one. You've been to the one in Toronto? Or San Diego? Or both? Yeah, I've never been to Toronto. But I'd like to go. I'd like to go to New York Comic-Con too. Definitely would like to go to Montreal Comic-Con. Would it be... It's going to be funny though if I go to Montreal Comic-Con before I've even gone to Toronto Comic-Con. We'll be like, wow, interesting. I'll be like, look. Montreal's cooler. I don't know what to tell you. San Diego. Yeah. Yeah. What year did you go to San Diego Comic-Con, Antonio? Friends, I think we're getting near to the end of the stream. I'm going to show you the other things that I got. I'm going to show them kind of rapid fire here. I got Titans. I think I got to censor this one. I Hate Fairyland, but I like to get the F Fairyland covers because I just like them the best. So they put those aside for me at my shop. And I usually get those ones. I got Fall of the House of X. I actually haven't read I've only read a little bit of I Hate Fairyland. I have so many issues. One day I'm just going to sit down and read all of it, and it's going to be like a fun binge. Fall of the House of X. Rise of the Powers of X. Because I got to read these, because that's what's going on. I got to put these back in their bags. And I think that's it. That's all the other stuff that I had. So, yeah. How many days? San Diego? I go the whole con. The whole con. Fall of X is cool. I haven't read it yet, but I gotta get into it. You went in 2013? Nice. Yeah, I was not there in 2013, but I have been every year since 2018 except for the pandemic. But yeah, I go the full con. I've never been without going to the full con, actually, the full show. Although I need to take a lot of breaks. Last year, I feel like I took a lot of breaks from the floor because I was just, like, exhausted. Exhausted. It was so warm. It was so hot. And I was wearing, like, full suit, like, full cosplay get-ups. And some days I was like, oh, my gosh, I'm so sweaty. Montreal Comic-Con will have Robert Englund. Oh, that's very cool. Christopher says, a buddy of mine and I was originally going to go to Comic-Con in Atlanta, but he got sick, unfortunately. I couldn't complain too much because Atlanta traffic is bad. Oh, I've never been to Atlanta, but I believe you. Scarlett says, I heard that they are doing a new Gotcha Man Battle of the Planets G-Force comic. Does anyone know if it's any good? I love the series in the 1970s and the early 2000s. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Michael says, are you going to Gen Con this year? I don't have plans to go to Gen Con, Michael. I do have someone that I said I would do work for if they go. But I haven't made any plans to go. So probably not, because I probably, like, should have made plans. But I don't know. If they have a badge for me and I go and do work, then I would go. I just don't want to go and, like, be untethered, I think, with Gen Con, because it's just such a big con, and I honestly feel, like, really overwhelmed. And, like, having worked this show a few times now, it's like, I don't know. Like, I kind of just prefer, like, other than San Diego Comic-Con, I really kind of prefer low, like, small con energy. Like, I like when it's just, like, a small con and, like, got a few booths and people are just chilling and, like, playing games or, like, hanging out. You know what I really want to go to this year? YetiCon. YetiCon is a special con that happens up in Blue Mountain in Ontario, and it is very much like a cosplayers con. And it's just basically cosplayers hanging out for the weekend and taking pictures. And I'm like, that sounds really fun. It's like a little cosplay con. Very cute. And I know, now I have, like, friends, I feel like, in the cosplay community in Toronto, so it'd be kind of cool to, like, just go and kind of network and just hang with people. I feel like that would be really fun. And I'd love to take pictures with people. I haven't, like, collabed enough as a cosplayer, and I want to do more of that. That would be awesome. But yeah, I might go to PAX as well this year. PAX Unplugged again. I like doing PAX because it's kind of a smaller show and it's, like, less pressure. Are you going to Gen Con, Michael? Antonio says, I went 4 days. Yeah, I usually go, so it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but then I usually go 5 days because Wednesday's preview night. So you can get in early to see stuff, and there's usually events happening and things like that. Preview night is pretty cool, and you get to see it, like, early, so it's, like, less busy. Reaper says, I'd love to see you cosplay as Scarlet from G.I. Joe. I've done that, Reaper. There are some photos up on my OF, and I don't know if I've posted any on Instagram, though. I have to look through and see what I have left there. I also feel like I wanted to do a photo set of that on my shop, but I don't know if I did. You went to preview night? Oh, okay. So did you do, like, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but you just didn't do the Sunday, Antonio? Gerald says, lol, never heard of YetiCon. Maybe because I don't live in Canada. Yeah, it's also a really small con, Gerald. It's, like, very tiny. It's just really, like, the cosplay community of, like, the city, I think, that goes. And it's not, like, a vendor con. I don't think people sell anything. People just hang out. It's just basically people that cosplay together hanging out together. Dante says you should cosplay yourself as Spider-Woman. I just want to cosplay as Spider-Woman in general. That would be great. Yeah, just 4 days. Oh, okay, so you did Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah. Sunday is kind of a day where, like, everyone leaves halfway through Antonia. So that makes sense. Like, there's a lot of people that don't do the Sunday. But I like Sunday because it's chill. Like, you just go out in the morning, you kind of hit a few things. Last year I missed the Women of Marvel. They had a panel and I missed that, and I'm sad. Hopefully I'll get there this year if they do one. And then I think we chilled for the afternoon, and then we went and just watched a movie. We watched Dazed and Confused. There was a special screening of it happening, and it was really fun. I'd never seen it before, and it's one of my friend's favorite movies. Or, like, up there. So, yeah. All right, friends, I think I'm going to call it a night here. I appreciate you all coming in to chat with me and hang out. This was so much fun. Thank you so much. I might head over... I'm thinking I might head over and watch the first episode of X-Men before I get ready for bed, though. So if you are over on OF, maybe head over there, and I will be doing a watch-along party if you want to join me over on Disney Plus, and you can watch along with me. And for those of you that are members over on YouTube, I'm going to be trying to do a thing where I throw up commentary reels for people so that you can play it while you're watching the episode if you want to watch it along with me as I go back after years of not watching it. Like I said, I tried to watch the X-Men animated series during the pandemic, and I just couldn't get back into it. But now I'm getting into it again, and I'm really excited. I don't know if I'm going to be able to catch up and watch everything, but yes, we shall see. You're off to bed, sadly. No worries, Rapala. It will be there for you, raw and unedited on OF. And if you are also a member on YouTube, so it will be available on YouTube for you, more edited and maybe with extra thoughts or something on the episode. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. You're all freaking fantastic. Should we raid someone over on Twitch? Should we raid into a stream? Maybe. I got some people in here. I could throw them to a cool friend. I don't know if anyone's just chatting. Let's see if we can find someone that's also just chatting, because I feel like this is the vibe. This is the vibe. What do I see? I see Evan is playing Valorant. Mandy is playing Elder Scrolls Skyrim. Oh, we could raid into... I feel like Mandy might be a good vibe. Or Bonds is playing board games. Bonds is playing board games. JCM's doing music. What do you guys want? Music? Skyrim? You guys want ASMR? I could raid into Skeptical Pickle. She's great. You want soothing sleepy time vibes? Is that good? Maybe that's where we go. I think actually I'm gonna refund your channel points, Dante. I'm gonna take us over to Mandy, I think. Amusing streamer, thank you so much for following the channel over on Twitch. I appreciate you. Yeah, but I will refund those points. You can guide the raid another evening. Thank you for the suggestion. Let's go Tawajiwa. I'm gonna also head over to Skeptical Pickle as well, I think, for a bit. I like both these people so much. Yeah, this is my friend Tawe. She's awesome. She loves doing retro games. She's playing some Elder Scrolls tonight. We love a little bit of Elder Scrolls. And her name is also Amanda. We went on vacation together, and we were the Amandas. It was pretty freaking great. So yeah, she's my good friend. So go send some love over to her. Say hello. And I will join you. Let's go say hi to Mandy. Thanks for watching, everyone. Stay nerdy. I'll see you on Friday, where I'll be playing some Mortal Kombat. Come back for that. Schedule in the chat, and then I'm going to guide the raid. Okay. Let's raid, baby. Why did I say it like that? Let's raid, baby. All right, YouTube. You're still here because there's no raiding. But, oh, probably heard that. But that's that. So have a